What is going on, everyone? Let's see if everyone can hear me this time. I think so. How are we all doing today? Welcome back to a brand new live stream. Day 2 out of the 30-day. Let's call it a challenge of live streaming every single day. I'm going to bring you guys news in the next 30 days, every single day. But most importantly, give you some value, right? Because I think we're getting pretty damn close to the bull run here. Everyone's getting really anticipated. A lot of you guys said last stream, 6+ months is looking like, well, the consensus on when it's going to start. But I think we're going to start to see more people come in now, and it's going to be great for us to be in the time that we're in, nice and early. Awesome, you can hear me. How are we all doing? SR, what's going on? All is doing well over here. Hopefully it's doing well for you over there, brother. Nate, what's going on? Living the dream in the FIFO world. I was tempted at one point in life to do FIFO, mine work, but never quite got there. It's good money, but hey. How's it going, Scott? Habib, do you think KDA is a good project? Yes, but I haven't done my research on it. I've had my concerns, but I haven't fact-checked my concerns. So I don't want to say it's a bad project. It never was a bad project, just had stuff to work on. Yeah? Volume's okay this time. Awesome. Guys, we have some really interesting news today. Because Citigroup, and you know how funny this is, because literally last live stream I was showing you guys like a report on Citigroup. They've come out and said they're basically, well, they have their own DLT, right? So distributed ledger technology. So they have their own basically blockchain, if you will, kind of like JP Morgan does now, right, with the JP Morgan coin, that they're using to facilitate some crypto-esque transfers, right? Tokenization of customer deposits, which is pretty interesting. We're going to go over some of this news today. I'm going to bring up some different part of the report I showed you guys last night. It's 162 pages, so I could use that report for the next 3 years and be fine. So it's really, really interesting. I'm going to show you the possible players that could be lurking underneath the surface. Obviously, you guys have seen the thumbnail. I'm not going to give it away, though, just yet. It's going to get quite interesting over here. Plus, Swift. Yes, Swift has got something to do with it. So I'm really excited about today's video. Hopefully you are too. I've just come off a massive gym session, so I'm really feeling the pain right now. For those who know, when you first get back into training again, it is very difficult, but I'm going to let a couple more people join in here and we're going to get things rolling. So how are we all doing? I think everyone in this most likely will be from European area. I'm going to start doing more live streams tailored towards the American market again next week when we have Tokenizer joining us. You guys don't know who Tokenizer is? Look him up on Twitter. He is the man officially. What's your view on Gala? Cuba or Coba? Sorry if I pronounced your name wrong, bro. I think what happened recently isn't a good sign. I know a couple other people have mentioned like, hey, as long as they resolve the situation, but fuck me, if that situation, it's a bad situation. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't look like either side wants to give up. So be very careful. Of course, if you've purchased Gala, I shouldn't have to say this to you, but you should already have conviction in it. So the question of should I sell shouldn't come up. It should be more like, well, I guess that question could be asked. But you can, if the instant question you have in your mind is, oh my God, do I sell? It's like, no. If you truly bought the project because you know a lot about it and you actually want to buy it, like what Warren Buffett said, if you can't write 2 to 3 sentences on a piece of paper as to why you bought that project, then don't buy it. So if you can't do that and you're asking yourself, oh God, should I sell? Well, yeah, you need to do more research. Which I like. I think that's a really smart idea. I mean, I create a lot of my information from Warren and just apply it to crypto, right? Did gym before the stream today? Yes, I did. Like a couple hours ago, man. It was a big sesh. I don't waste any time in that place. And yeah, man, it was killer. Like I can't even move my arms from yesterday. It's worth it though, right? 5 a.m. East Coast right now. Man, appreciate you being here, bro. That's crazy. Australia, welcome. Sydney, Mr. Mustang, SR, your opinion about ICX. I'm not going to go too much into these projects just yet, brother. Hold off one sec here. I want to get into the news first, give you guys the juicy information, and then those who want to stay for some questions, we can answer those. Also, again, guys, let me just reiterate here, we will be continuing this conversation on Discord. We had 16 people, shout out to all those 16 people that joined me last night, but we didn't really have a conversation. I want to bring people up, actually talk with people on Discord, right? Like verbally talk, communicate. I don't care how stupid the questions might be, or if it's asking me about something other than crypto, right? So I want you guys to come and join me, please. Come and join me on Discord. Oh, this is a conversation I want to bring up in a second. We're going to start this live stream, the AMA, straight after this live stream. So you guys get some more information and just ask away, you know what I mean? It's going to be fun. I'm really, really excited. Links obviously down below. All right, guys. Thank you all for being here. I appreciate it. Again, live streams every single day here. Let's get into some of this juicy, juicy news. All right. So Citigroup. Who is Citigroup? Well, I don't want to get too technical with it, right? A lot of you know who Citigroup is. Massive institution. They do a lot of different things, right? They obviously are a bank, first and foremost. $75.3 billion US dollars in revenue last year. Kind of fucking nutty if you ask me, right? So they're a big player in the space in the whole world, okay? I think they're like the number one issuer of cards, if that gets you going. I don't know, right? So anyway, Citigroup themselves have recently, 18 hours ago, unveiled some massive news. They've got two different things here, but they released a digital asset solution that they're calling Citi Token Services. Interesting name choice, right? Interesting name choice. We'll get into how that might apply to HBAR in a second here. But so there's two different aspects of this, two different solutions, right? One is a pilot for tokenized deposits, enabling organizations to move money between Citibank branches worldwide 24/7. The other is a trade solution that provides smart contract-based bank guarantees. It was piloted in collaboration with one of their associate companies, right? The trade application used smart contracts to trigger an instant payment using tokenized deposits. Now, if you guys are like, oh, this doesn't sound very interesting, give me a second to actually explain this. If you can see the tabs I have at the top of my screen, let me just challenge you to stay and listen to all of this because it's going to blow your socks off, right? Citi Token Services provides corporate treasuries with a new tool to manage global liquidity on a just-in-time programmable basis. The bank emphasized that this operates on a permissioned Citi network, and clients don't have to host blockchain nodes to participate. So it's a permissioned network. So what that essentially means is they've essentially created or I guess purchased, or they have some sort of subscription to another well-known crypto service. Maybe HBAR. Interesting they call it Citi Token Services. Hedera Token Service. Okay, maybe I'm reaching, for straws here. Fair enough. But let me continue. In the blockchain world, several solutions are rolling out to enable banks and corporates to move money around the world and manage liquidity globally. Of course, JP Morgan has its JPM coin, which does something similar. I think JPM coin was a fork of Ethereum, But anyway, that is a big conspiracy theory in that. But quite interesting, right? So what does that really mean? What do those two services mean? Because when I first read that myself, I was like, what even is that, right? Like, I understood it, but I didn't really grasp it. This, I think, summarizes perfectly. So one of them is a new offering that turns customer deposits into digital tokens, which means as a customer of Citibank, you can deposit your fiat and tokenize that fiat, use that tokenized fiat to interact with digital services that obviously Citibank's chain, the Citibank token service, whatever it's going to be called, or the Citibank network, to either move it anywhere in the world, right? Instantaneous settlement, of course, extremely fast settlement, but also interact with many different services. Now, this is going to be quite interesting, right? Because we know Citibank from the report I showed you last night, and I will show you again, is doing lots and lots and lots of research in not just crypto, but specifically tokenization, right? They've interviewed many people. I should actually show you guys in a second here. Silvio Macali, the founder of Polygon, or at least the CEO of Polygon, the Ava Labs Foundation CEO, or whoever that might be, right? Who else? The co-founder of XTC Network, right? So they're investing resources into discovering the market, and it looks like now they've finally taken action, okay? So yes, that is as big as what it sounds. And for those of you like, because I know I used to be this person, right? I used to hear that shit and go, what big whoop. This is what we're being fed. You can imagine what happens underneath the surface here, okay? And so we can start to draw some connections. I'll show you in a second here, right? So Citigroup uses DLT to tokenize deposits, offer always-on banking. The effort comes amid a rapidly growing interest in on-chain tokenized assets, a market estimated to be valued at 16 damn trillion by 2030. Who conducted this report? Who the hell says 16 trillion by 2030? Need I remind you guys, tokenization, 16 trillion, okay? 7 years away, albeit not everything is going to be tokenized in crypto. But our market last bull run didn't even tip 3 trillion. And they're saying just in one industry, it's 16 trillion. Let me continue. Again, give me the time, let me continue, right? Who was that report conducted by? None other than Boston Consulting Group. I'm pretty sure BCG, Boston Consulting Group, have a partnership with VeChain, by the way. Like a very intimate relationship with VeChain. Okay, and that's a whole different story. The service is powered by Citi's private blockchain, which we know, which means that the clients will not be required to set up their digital wallet to use the feature. So you just walk in the branch, deposit some cash, and I'm guessing it's this easy. I don't interact with Citibank, at all. But hey, I want to, do you want to tokenize this? Yes, there might be a tick in the box on the deposit slip. Who knows, right? Something like this. But either way, these guys are obviously at the forefront of innovation, it seems, because again, they've conducted this report. Right, but before I touch on this report, I want to mention something else here. This isn't the only huge news that's kind of swept under the rug this month. Basically this month. 31st of August, Swift unlocks potential of tokenization with successful blockchain experiments. What kind of blockchain experiments? Well, Swift today released results from a new series of experiments that show its infrastructure can seamlessly facilitate the transfer of tokenized value across multiple public and private blockchains. What? Public blockchains? You kidding me? The only friggin' public blockchains I know are crypto-based blockchains, right? Private blockchains, R3 Quorum, Hyperledger Fabric, these consortium networks that most of the large corporations and institutions use that we don't even really know. But it seems to me that they're conducting experiments with these guys, with crypto, right? And we should know this because Hedera HBAR, well, they're establishing some sort of a connection here with FPOS, which is an Australian, it's literally like the go-to, the most popular Australian, how can I say this? Like, what's the right word I'm looking for? Maybe they have what's the word I'm looking for here? They facilitate payments on your FPOS machines, right? Your point of sale machines is what I'm trying to say, right? So they're huge. They're everywhere. Like every time you go into any sort of store, no matter how big or small, you interact with FPOS, chances are, right? So big stuff. Now, we come back to this report. Now, I showed you guys this report. And again, 662 pages. I'll be here for the rest of my life going through this if I really wanted to. You could damn well scroll to any page of this and pick out some pretty interesting information. But, again, keep in mind, this is from Citi GPS. This is their... I forget what the acronym stands for here, but this is essentially their wing that searches for this sort of stuff, right? They search for new interesting markets to penetrate, as far as I'm aware, right? Trillions in... Let me zoom in here real quick because I don't have my glasses on. Trillions in value, tokenized of digital securities. Why is this important? Well, the digital outstanding equity and fixed income market is valued at over 250 trillion. Yes, trillion with a T. Thus, traditional securities have the potential to represent one of the biggest use cases for tokenization. Boom. Okay. What did Mr. Larry Fink say over here? Listen up, guys.
I actually believe this technology is going to be very important. Look at it. We have been part of the huge revolution in investing through ETFs. We believe that ETFs will be changing the whole way we invest. Many people still use it as a means, people are investing it for indexing. No, the majority of people who are putting money in in ETFs are active investors that are buying exposure. The entire bond market is being transformed as we talk right now. I believe the next generation for markets, the next generation for securities will be tokenization of securities. And if we can have that distributed ledger that we know every beneficial owner, every beneficial seller, we all have our code of who's buying, who's selling, instantaneous settlement.
Thank you, Mr. Fink. You guys get the idea by now, right? I just caught my eye. I had to look over here on the chat screen and I see Anzac Merc. Hit the like button, you dogs. Yeah, guys, come on, smash the like button up. Really appreciate it a lot, and it helps keep me motivated for this, But you guys being here keeps me motivated enough, but I appreciate it a lot. Thanks for calling that out, Anzac. Guys, the man, the myth, Larry Fink himself said it. We have JPM coin. Guys, I mean, I don't know what else I have to kind of say here. And this is the interesting thing, right? Just like we've seen with Hedera, like a real world sort of proof of concept, like an evolving... It's interesting because like we see cryptocurrencies all the time, like spawning, like layer ones, they spawn and they're like, hey, this is what we're trying to do. This is where our market is. And then like the market's like, no, you got that wrong, brother. And like, we want you for gaming or we want you for whatever. It's the market decides, right? Well, Hedera's market has gone into a certain direction, but it's, pardon me, it's interesting because it's more so Web 2 focused as well. And this is kind of like what we're seeing here, I think, with the crypto market in overall. Like, look how much look how much is tokenized with Avalanche. You know what I mean? Massive funds are tokenized over there, ETFs. Okay, Larry knows obviously a little bit more than the rest of us here, but I agree with him. You got to always question yourself with these sort of figures, right? Whether they truly are saying what they say here, or whether they choose their words carefully is what I'm trying to say, right? But I think he's 100% right, and I think he isn't BSing in this case, right? I got a good BS nose, believe it or not. Okay, so in this case, Larry, so Larry mentions the tokenization. So I see the crypto market moving first and foremost into tokenization, and I'm not the only one. Okay, so as I mentioned back over here, let me continue. Right, what is the total TAM size, or total addressable market size? We are very early in the process of these products growing, but based on the conversations with internal and expert internal and expert domain experts, okay, we forecast 4 trillion to 5 trillion of tokenized digital assets, securities rather, assuming 1% of the corporate blah 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 quasi-sovereign funds, okay, whatever. Down here, currently the tokenization of securities will be the trade finance market, which could see up to 1 trillion in volumes based on DLT technology, or around 8 to 10% of global trade finance volumes by 2030. Global trade finance. Do you guys understand how big the global trade finance market is? I'm guessing most of you probably do. We're talking many tens of trillions here. Tens of trillions, okay? And so again, I go back to my point where I just kind of, left off from a minute ago. This is one aspect, or this is two aspects of crypto. Again, what are we talking about here? $250 trillion worth of the size of this market could definitely flow. I mean, guys, you talk about, 10% of that, 1% of that. Crypto, again, very small, juvenile, speculative market. Zoom out, zoom out. When you start to realize that, you can sort of put the pieces together and say, okay, we have these projects, like one of the reports I showed you last night, the Bank of International Settlements, right? The guys who pretty much run all the central banks. They're experimenting with friggin' AMMs. Automated market makers. You might just throw Uniswap in there and say, hey, just use Uniswap v3. Obviously, I think their solution could be XRP, XLM, things like that. But this is where those 3 projects come in. Quant, QNT, beloved QNT. Hyper-focus on tokenization, right? And the interesting thing is, we go back to Citibank. Quant is a white label service. Citibank can literally just use Quant and never tell a single soul that they're using Quant, and no one would ever know. No one would ever know. Obviously, they have to pay licensing fees and stuff like that, of course. So Quant's going to benefit from this. Citibank has a lot of employees. The way that, for those who know, the way that Quant has their white label service set up, and the way that you pay for this, I believe, I could be wrong in this case, but from my last time I checked, depending on how much volume you'll be processing, and also depending on how many employees you have to pay a fee. So they'll be paying a lot of money for this, a lot of money, right? And so that's just one of the options. Also, a lot of people would discredit Chainlink, CCIP, right? Because CCIP, or the cross-chain interoperability protocol, has just been announced. They have this massive middle ground, right? So they bring all this value. Let me just make myself big here real quick. All this value from the real world, they bring it into crypto, right? This bridge that doesn't exist. If this doesn't exist, if Chainlink isn't here, pull Chainlink out of the market real quick. Crypto's up shit's creek, put it simply. And so it facilitates this, and now it has what's called the CCIP, again, cross-chain interoperability protocol. And so what it essentially does is it can facilitate any sort of tokenization from the real world into crypto, and from crypto back to the real world, right? And also in those markets itself. So it's an interesting thing we have here, right? And a lot of people, I'm one of them people that, definitely wouldn't say, I wouldn't compare Quant and CCIP just yet. I wouldn't do that. CCIP has a long way to go. It literally just launched like a few months ago. But do not underestimate Chainlink. They're massive. Not just in crypto, they're fucking massive, right? And I want to emphasize the F, right? Because people often overlook it because it's just a smart contract or a series of smart contracts. It's a dApp on Ethereum. And that's the problem Quant has with a lot of people as well. And so we come over here to Hedera HBAR, right? The Hedera token service. What do you guys know about the HTS already? Or some of you actually probably don't even know about the Hedera. Let me just change my screen real quick. About the Hedera smart contract service. And it's interesting choice of words here from Citigroup. Now, again, I could be clutching at straws with this, but interesting choice of words, right? Citi token service, well, services. Hedera token service. And for those who don't know, Hedera most definitely can spin up a private instance. And I mean, if you're dealing with a partner like Citigroup, they're not gonna. Then they'll just buy out the rights for it, right? They'll just run the hash graph. And so if that happens, they mentioned that they have a new DLT. They didn't say blockchain. They said DLT. Probably is a blockchain, but if it's not, if it's a DLT, it could be a hash graph in this case, right? So the Hedera token service enables configuring, managing, and transferring native fungible and non-fungible tokens on the Hedera network. Okay, so it's just like a really complex token, right? Like an ERC20 token, for example, but it offers a lot more. Okay, but the token service is integrated in the Hedera smart contract service, which is a service that is available for institutional use. It's just like me, right? If I created some sort of software used for the everyday person, okay, I could then offer you as a business customer your own private instance of it to run within your company. That's kind of what we're getting at here, okay? So yeah, we got some big news, guys. That's pretty much what I wanted to cover for the most part, and why this kind of wraps back into crypto and why we all need to really pay attention to it is because this landscape is moving quickly in a bear market. I mean, look, we have 2 years before the bull run comes along. All right, we have 2 freaking years before this comes along. And I can just see a myriad of events happening, including something like, an ETF for Bitcoin, or not just that, but frameworks, or at least frameworks for the US are completed, or at least, I guess just sanctioned, right? And then we can see this onboarding of integrations. Citigroup might want to integrate with X Network, and so on and so forth. Swift, same sort of situation. So big stuff is happening. Big stuff is brewing. For those who thought, and I had a question the other day, some guy was like to me, how would you explain this to your parents and family and friends? Because none of them were crypto native or crypto fanatics, enthusiasts. And he's like, dude, like, how do you get them on board? I mentioned I want to buy crypto, and they're like, it's a scam. I was like, this right here, 95% of the world's population won't look at this sort of stuff because they just think it's boring reports. And this is why these people can get away with it, right? This is why the rich get richer. It's because average money, let's just use the word dumb money, even though I wouldn't group 95% of the world as dumb money, but let's just say they wouldn't look at this sort of stuff. But you listening to this right now are the ones that are listening. You're the ones that are preparing, right? We are at a revolution here. Silvio is Algorand, bud. Oh, you guys are talking amongst yourselves, I think. And this is the problem, right? I jump back in here. Let me answer some questions, guys. What do you think about that? I jump back in here and I'm like, who's talking to me? Who's not talking to me? But if you were talking to me, yeah, Silvio Macali is the founder and CEO of Algorand. Is everyone aware of what I just said? Because I can break anything down. 100% I can break things down. For those of you who, by the way, are joining me right now and missed the start of the live stream, we're going live on Discord. We had 16 people, and I appreciate those 16 people for coming on. You're all absolute legends. But I want to have a lot more people, so please jump into the Discord. The invite link is in the description of this live stream, also pinned in the chat. Jump in because, again, AMA, I'm going to invite you up. I don't care how stupid you think your question is. let's have a conversation. It doesn't have to be about crypto. It can be about life. It can be about gym. It can be about whatever you want it to be about. We can just talk. That's more private, intimate. We can even talk about your portfolio. So come along, guys. Come along. We've got some pretty interesting stuff happening in the Discord soon, so you will be missing out if you're not in that. I know everyone says that shit. Everyone says, "Oh, come join my Discord. Come join my private community." It's free, by the way, because you're gonna get this and this. It's like, no, we have some really good stuff coming here, like a lot of free value coming through here. We're working on in the back end. So how are we all doing? Off on that rant. What would you say to convince someone holding fiat to buy back in? I think you're a smart man if you're not buying back in, honestly, right now, bro. Not financial advice. Because I need to come up with a new term instead of not financial advice. There has to be another term we can create. Because the opportunity that's brewing is going to be a lot more than what people think, but you will know when to take advantage, man. I deeply feel like there is going to be something else. I will never convince someone to buy crypto. I have been there and done that. I've tried convincing friends. I've convinced family. I told you guys last night, I don't know if it was on Discord or the live on YouTube, but I got my dad into a cryptocurrency and he's lost his money. I'm going to refund him and tell him it came from the project, but I've been there and done that. You don't want to be forcing yourself or being convinced to buy altcoins. I'll never preach that, man. You do your own research, and if you feel it's time, it's time. I can just give you price predictions and entry levels for projects, but I'll never tell you to hit the trigger. You know, it might be in the title. We must buy now, last chance. But like, if you guys watch the content, that's what matters, right? We have a $5 donation here from Unavailable. I wonder if that's actually your name or if that's just like a glitch. I appreciate the $5, brother. Thank you so much. I don't have access to an exchange to buy Casper. Is wrapped Casper the same? Is it safe? This is a fantastic question because I'm guessing a lot of you guys don't understand what wrapped means. A wrapped token. Okay, so I don't have access to an exchange to buy Casper. Is wrapped Casper the same? So, okay, here's the thing. Casper with a K, or either Casper, is the same thing in this case. I'm just going to use Casper with a K because that's what you asked. It's its own network, all right? So it's its own layer one. And what that fundamentally means is that as the project, we have all these layer ones. Now the cryptocurrency, there's like 25,000 projects, but a good chunk of that, like let's just throw a number out and say 95% of those projects, maybe even 99% of those projects, they are applications built on top of layer ones or layer zeros, but ultimately layer ones. And what layer ones allow crypto is a framework, or these projects, a framework to build on top. And so when you say, is buying wrapped Casper the same? What you're essentially saying is because Casper is its own layer one network, it doesn't have a contract, right? Because what a contract is a smart contract that is a set of numbers or just a bunch of random symbols and shit that says, hey, this is how you can buy our token on the layer one. It's essentially like if you owe an invoice for a business, it's the bank account and all that sort of stuff, right? But it has their token and stuff within that. Well, Casper doesn't have that, right? Because it's its own network. So when you have wrapped Casper, what that essentially is saying is, I bet you bought that wrapped Casper on like Ethereum, Binance Smart Chain, or something or other. Be very careful with that because people could make fake wrapped Casper. And what that means is, it's essentially the derivative. It's essentially the underlying asset, which is the Casper token. So you'll find it probably is very similar, probably actually slightly different, you'll find, but similar to the actual price of Casper. Let me just kind of pull up CoinMarketCap here for you, brother. Sorry for it being a very long explanation here, but what I'm essentially trying to say is you've bought it on a different network, and all that's saying is it's a derivative of the actual Casper, the layer one. The best thing you can do, bro, is actually buy the layer one, because I'm guessing the only way that your Casper is worth the amount it is right now is because of liquidity pools, AMMs. We could get on a massive tangent. I'm probably losing you already, man, but essentially if the liquidity in that pool isn't balanced, equivalent to what the actual price of Casper is, and the only reason it does that is because we have people who arbitrage trade, who go, oh, there's a slight difference here. Casper's actually valued at X amount, and this is an X amount, so then it balances out. It'll be slightly different, but it's dangerous because if that pool is drained, you're left with a token that means nothing because it's a wrapped version of Casper, but it's got no affiliation to the actual Casper. Does that make sense? Does that make sense? I really apologize if it doesn't. So this might be worthy of a video, right? Damn, Casper's at $1 billion market cap. Congratulations to Crypto John for calling this. I don't know when John started calling it, but man, I know he's been talking about it for a while now. So you'll see there's no contract address on here, right? And so if you bought, let's just say this, yeah, here we go, wrapped Casper, fucking oath, here we go. So you'll see the price, right? You see the price is slightly different? Because this, and where's the contract? It's an Ethereum contract, right? So this is you right here. I'm guessing you bought this. So see that slight difference? See how it just fucking jumped up crazy just then? Right? Liquidity. What's the liquidity? See the 24-hour trading volume? It's low. So $12,000. I'm guessing this pool isn't very deep either, which means there's not, people haven't put in wrapped Casper tokens, and I'm guessing Ethereum tokens to keep them. So when someone makes a trade, boom, the price changes, even if it's a small trade, right? Boom, boom. That's why you see these massive jumps. So be very careful with buying wrapped derivatives of other layer ones. Wrapped Ethereum's fine. Wrapped BNB's fine. Some of these wrapped major layer one networks are fine, but I wouldn't personally. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, bro. If you haven't lost any money, I would, unless you're buying the wrapped Casper as an intermediary purchase, as like a chain purchase, you're gonna use it for something else. I wouldn't mess with this, man. Not financial advice. I wouldn't even click the website link. Who knows where that goes? You see here, it's a Uniswap contract, so wrapped Casper with wrapped ETH. So it's paired with wrapped ETH. So you can see, I mean, we can check the, I think you get the idea by now. I don't want to spend too much time on that. Hopefully that helps, brother. You know what I mean? Like, you can buy wrapped tokens, wrapped ETH. Like, this is wrapped ETH. But wrapped ETH is a lot more used than wrapped Casper. I'll tell you that much. Well, obviously, right? Wrapped ETH, wrapped whatever it might be. It's just make sure you check the size of the pools. So a pool is 1, 2. So when something is purchased, one goes down, it's been purchased, and you're selling the other, so it goes up. And then the price changes. We can get technical with it. Hopefully that helps, brother. So, thank you for the $5. Hey guys, I want to say, if you haven't hit the like button already, drop it in. It means a lot to me. It means a lot. Thank you all for being here. How much money do I make a week? Not a lot. Just enough. I'm going to start moving away from I wasn't going to say this out loud, but I'll start moving away from sponsored videos, and we've got some really cool stuff in the works. So actual products that I want to focus more on. Get the channel nice and clean, you know. So how much money do I make a week? As much as the sponsors will pay me, which isn't that much money. I do have a team, so I want to make that very clear. Like, I have a team helping me with this stuff now, which is excellent. It's great. And so that's why there's a bit of overheads now, right? Do I follow crypto conspiracies? Yes and no. I dive a lot into individual projects. Say like I'm reviewing Ethereum. I'll dive into the whole thing with, you know, JP Morgan and stuff like that. Like, but not as much as what you might think. I mean, I got this tattoo right here, this the all-seeing eye, right? The Illuminati, because I love conspiracies. My original channel was going to be a conspiracy theory channel. I love conspiracies. Don't get me started on conspiracies. If you ever meet me in real life, please. Actually, you know what? I dare you to do it. I dare you to do it. H-Boy's looking like he doesn't want to go much lower levels. Really? You're right, man. Just like Quant, man. You know, just like Quant. These guys are holding at a certain level here because a few reasons, but what's that telling you? You know, what is that telling you? You know, if we have a massive crash, it's like Quant, H-Bar, Casper with a C. There's a few other projects. they're holding these lines very sturdily. Even before the huge pump, XDC Network at 3 cents. I mean, come on, guys. Like, what else do we need? Well, it's like, great price, great price, great price. It'll bump up, and we go, oh, fuck, why didn't we buy the good price? It's always in hindsight. So, yeah, I'm telling you right now, there's a reason why they're staying at that level. A lot of support at that level. And even if it breaks underneath it, I think it's just going to shoot back up to those price levels. Unavailable with another $2. Thank you, man. What do you think about EWT? Yeah, I mean, I love EWT. It's a fantastic network. It has competitors in the market, but nowhere near as developed, well connected, and I think overall, technology-wise, it's an absolute monster, right? Absolute monster. So yeah, EWT is like, if you want to have any sort of hedge into the energy market, and I think everyone should, because it's a big issue. It is like, and it's super cheap. Come on now, EWT, right? It's not as though we're talking about $1 billion project. We're talking about a $65 million project with a max supply of 100 million. It's currently at $2. Man, that's crazy. So I don't know about Noya, to be honest with you. Synotropy? Haven't heard of this one, bro. Haven't heard of this one. Not a lot of trading volume. I know that I'm not sharing my screen right now. Data layer for Web3. Yeah. That might be a little bit to go into. We might look into this on Discord. So if you join Discord, let me know. Ask the question again, bro. I'm sorry for not diving into that too much now, but we will be quite quick on here. I'll answer a few more questions, guys. Again, we're going to continue the party, and I know a lot of you just joined. We're going to continue the party on Discord. So for those of you who aren't already in the Discord, you need to get your ass in there. It's not paid. We have a lot coming up. I've got like four team members currently working on other things in the Discord specifically right now. So a lot is coming, and if you join up now, we'll be doing an AMA in there. I want to ask you guys to answer some questions. I've said that backwards. I want you guys to ask some questions that I can answer. Thank you. Right? Hello from Auckland. Hello, brother. I've been over there once before. Exodus. Mention the banks limiting transactions to exchanges. What do you think about MetaHero? Ooh, I've heard of it before. Don't really know. I think MetaHero is like an NFT project, isn't it? Oh yeah, that's right. I was supposed to show you guys earlier in the video. I totally forgot because I'm gonna like dox all my DMs here. I'm so sorry, everyone. And I'm so sorry to Dill Bob because I haven't notified you before doing this if I was gonna do this. But he mentioned something very interesting, right? He had a conversation with someone at Commonwealth Bank, which is like the largest bank in Australia, like the largest. They're about to roll out policy limiting people to $10,000 a month to any crypto exchange. Might want to move your Black Swan back to CoinSpot. So I do have my Black Swan already in CoinSpot, which is good. So that's just a centralized exchange over here in Australia. Because he's right. Like they are trying to stop money coming into crypto. I think probably until frameworks are adopted, then the bank's going to be relaxed. Like that's why I was let off my job, right? I was let off my job because of the COVID vaccine. And then all of a sudden, now I don't want to get political here, of course, but all of a sudden, like 6 months later, they brought it back. And so anyway, so I can see something like this happening. Like we're restricting crypto, and it definitely will have an effect on crypto. Like, do not get me wrong. If that comes into effect and that happens worldwide, and they put a ban or a limit on how much you can invest in a crypto per month or the whole year, I mean, look, what do you think is going to happen when CBDCs come into the scene? You know, we think this is bad. We think this is bad now. I mean, come on. With CBDCs, they have complete totalitarian control of everything you do. Hey, bro, you're watching too much Netflix. Get the fuck off your ass. Hey, bro, you're eating too many steaks this month. Stop eating steaks. Have some grasshoppers. I mean, a lot of you guys are conspiracy theorists. A lot of you guys probably aren't. But what I'm saying is, it doesn't matter what side of the fence you sit on in that case. You cannot deny the fact that that is only going to get worse in the next 7 years. So yes, as Bob pointed out, please, if you are Hey, Dillbob's in here. Appreciate it, brother. Sorry for doxing you, man. Sorry for doxing you. Oh man, I feel bad, but I thought that what you shared is you deserve a shout out for that, but also what you said is like spot on, right? And so yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought, but I mean, it's only going to get a lot worse. So brace yourselves. Oh, that's right. Have your money already, like Dillbob said, right, in a centralized exchange. As stupid as that might sound. Or forget centralized exchange. Have it on a wallet, right? Actually, I just literally today got my wallet from Tangem, right? So have it on a cold storage wallet. Okay. Joe says, I bloody hell on Discord with you and there's no one else there. Yeah, come on, guys. Get over to the Discord. Get over to the Discord right now. We are going to be starting this very soon. I'll answer a couple more questions here. CoinSpot, is it expensive? Yes. I am likely moving to Caleb and Brown. So that's going to probably be my exchange of choice here. More to come. Does moving your Black Swan mean moving your side cash to CoinSpot? So my Black Swan cash is my side cash. And that's that $20,000 or so that I keep putting my money into here and there, here and there, here and there. And that's essentially like a fire extinguisher account. Now, you should definitely have a fire extinguisher account outside of crypto. That Black Swan money is literally just to take advantage of a massive dump. I mean, for those who weren't around for the crypto COVID crash, guys, this thing can happen, right, very fast. And it like literally corrected within like a day or two, like very fast. Right, so it's like dumped, corrected, and people that got in, I think I know a guy. So you guys probably know JRNY Crypto, big YouTuber, big crypto YouTuber. He got in at like BNB at like $4 or something like that, $2, right, or something crazy like that. Hey, Dwayne, good to see you, brother. Good to see you, Dwayne. Where am I from in Australia? Near the Barrier Reef. I don't want to I've said it multiple times publicly, but I just kind of feel wrong about actually saying it live, right? eToro, Joss, I wouldn't use eToro. And by the way, be very careful of whenever you have, I think because eToro offers this, right? They offer the copy the trader thing, the trader copy thing. I've heard that can be very, very dangerous to do that because I had someone very smart told me about how that works one day, and that actually if you followed that, you will end up like the way that they beat the system somehow to be like number one on those exchanges, and like, yeah. So I think eToro offers that. I wouldn't mess around with that, man. Am I still looking for people on my team? No, bro. We're all set for now. But thank you, though. If you have, like, something, like, you're really good at, like, if anyone listening to this right now has, like, something that they're, like marketing or script writing or, like, something that they're actually really, really good at and want to do, then most definitely hit me up. You're never gonna go wrong just asking. You know, you might get a no, but, man, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So, guys, that's going to do today's YouTube live stream. We're heading right over, like right now, to Discord. And if you guys enjoyed the content, or if you missed it, rewatch the live, because I'm guaranteeing you right now, you are missing out if you missed that. Okay, and again, let's ask some questions. We've got about 3 people, I think, in the audience right now. Let's go have some fun. Ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate you all the time, of course. We'll be here again for the next 28 days. In a row. I'm having no days off. I'm coming here. I'm dropping news, dropping gems, and we're breaking down some projects and interacting. So I look forward to seeing you all tomorrow. Next week, we're bringing on Tokenizer, for you guys who know Tokenizer is, and we will be catering those times more so towards the American market. Take care, all.